Hey, Doug.
Hey, Rod.
Uh, how much are you enjoying the arrival of prospects like Aiken and Kramer and Zimmerman and being able to work with them and evaluate them, knowing how big they are for this whole rebuild plan?
Well, it's funny because you want them to get the work that they need to get in. As much as I would like Darren and I to have them up here, you need those guys to grow, and I think down there suffering through what they've had to go through, because it's not baseball, it's work, 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 and I love having the new blood up here, man. It's these kids have stepped in. I mean, if you look at the first two guys that came up, right, Kramer and Ake, they go about their work, they talk pitching, they pitch like they've been here and done it. Nothing bothers either of them. Um, I don't have to go out to the mound and say, "Hey, listen, your frustrations are leading to anxiety." Don't. It, I'm telling you, when I say I go out there, they know exactly what they want to do. They know how they want to attack. They tell me, instead of me saying, "Hey, this guy, hey, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attack up in the zone. I'm going to play my curveball off of it, and if I need to, I'll throw cutter down and away." I'm like, okay, go on the attack. These guys have been great coming up here, and I think they mix well because we have such a young bullpen that it's just another one of the guys, and this is a close pitching staff. You have Cobb, who's been there and done it. John Means is basically one of your, looked at veterans because of what he's done. He made the All-Star team. And I think Johnny's only into his second year, so it's one of those things that this group of the three that has come up has really brought new blood in, and it's great to see, and it's awesome working with them because these guys know what they're good at, and they're not afraid to take that to the hitter.
Next up, we've got a question from Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Doug.
Hi, Rich.
Do you think that the starting staff you have now, those three, Means, Cobb, Jorge Lopez, do you think that that's a staff that can be a contending staff, lead this team into contention in 2021?
God, I would hope so. I don't see why they can't. The sky's the limit, especially for the young guys. Jorge Lopez, he came over from KC. This is a guy that, when we looked at it, we knew immediately what we wanted to do. We wanted to take the noise out of his delivery and see what was going to happen. See if we could throw more strikes with the fastball, see if we could throw more strikes with the sinker, and see if his off-speed played because of the direction. And he's proved it. This guy has pretty good stuff. And then you have Cobber, you have Johnny Means, who after his last two starts has really gotten back to what he did that got him to the All-Star game last year. He took off some velo. We nixed all the twisting and the turning. We gave him direction, and the instant Johnny felt it, he knew that he was back. And I think that these 5 or 6 guys, if we can hold their W's down, we'll have a chance to contend, yes. Because we've already proven your Dean Palmers and your Aikens can throw against the Yankees. Johnny Means, we know, can throw against the Yankees. Your tougher teams in the AL East, and remember, we're in the AL East, so we're going to play a lot of games out of our division. This is a tough team that we're playing here tonight. You look out there and you see how well they move and the plays that they make and the speed that they have and what they can do with the sticks. We're where they were a couple of years ago. And I think that if we can get these guys to buy in and believe what they're good at and go do it a bunch, we're going to be right there.
Next up, we've got a question from Melanie Newman. Melanie, go ahead.
I know he already went back down, but did you see something different in Evan Phillips last night that led to him being, significantly better than what we've seen him previously this season?
I did. I saw a guy that came in and was calm. And this is nothing that he doesn't know. We need him to continue to be on even kill. If he doesn't have his pitch, his split, he doesn't have to throw it. This is somebody that has one of the better sliders in the game, and we don't get to see it because he's not up here, and I think if you were to talk to him, because this is what he tells me and this is what we see. When he gets in trouble, he goes fastball, 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 fastball. Listen, Melanie, if you saw as many fastballs as these guys see when we're in trouble, you'd be able to hit them too. There's nobody that doesn't hit a good fastball nowadays. It's mixing in your sliders. It's mixing in the off speed. Even when you don't have it, Dino didn't have his curveball the other day, but he kept throwing it. And he was smart enough to go to his slider. So, we talked last night when the game was over, and I was like, man, that was good stuff. And he goes, I've seen a lot of sliders. He says, that might be one of the better sliders in the big leagues. Well, we don't get to see it because he's never in the opportunity to throw. Well, last night when he was ahead, he got to utilize it. And he has to realize, all these kids have to realize, you don't have to throw strike one with a fastball. And that's the buy-in that we need, is guys to start trusting their stuff and going on the attack with their best stuff, whether it be first pitch slider, first pitch split, first pitch hammer. It doesn't matter. As long as we can stay in the zone and get ahead. Because when we're behind, we're not a very good pitching staff.
Brett Hollander, go ahead.
Hey, Doug. Hunter Harvey has expressed some frustration over his splitter so far since coming off the IL. Is that just a byproduct of the stopping starting, and is it something you're confident he can work through?
Yeah. So Harv's frustration with his split, he has the answer. He just doesn't do it. I always ask him, I said, okay, well, what's the problem? Well, I'm not throwing it like a fastball. There you have it. Think fastball, let it rip, and good things happen. He wants to see the swing and miss. He wants to see the break. If he just forgets all about all of that and just throws fastball with it, that's when it's really, really good. And that's what he has to get down to. Problem is, Harv's been kind of stretched out. We're kind of careful with Harv. And it's one of those things that I'm ready for him to pitch every other day, 5-6 times in a 10-12 day period. And I just don't think we're there yet, but hopefully, next year that's where we're at, and he's either setting up or closing. It's a huge, huge, huge arm. We all know that. We got to see a glimpse of it last year, and this is an exciting kid. He's not afraid of anything. So, I think if he just gets out there and uses it and thinks fastball with it, he'll be fine. Because that's when we see that it's really, really good.
Nathan Ruiz, go ahead.
Hey, Doug, thanks for doing this. We've spent a lot of this call talking about young guys. What's impressed you about Cesar Valdez?
Time tested. It's one of those things that this is a guy that's a king at home. He's a strike thrower with everything. I don't know how many changeups he has, but 5 of them do 5 different things. Breaking balls, slide. He has an upshoot slider. He has, the one thing that we don't see a lot of is fastball, and we just don't see enough of it to realize if it plays at 95 because of all the soft stuff, or if he can locate it. I mean, I'm sure he can locate it well. We just see so much off speed that, this guy, he knows what he's doing. He's been in baseball a long time. And even when he's not in the big leagues in the United States, he's down dominating in the winter leagues. So, you know, I think it gives us a different look out of that pen. You know, he got his first win, his first save, and I don't know how many years, but I'm glad I was a part of it. Especially the save. I'm glad I was a part of that because it was a special time for him. He proved to himself that he can come back and pitch at the big league level. And, you know, I would hope that we have decisions to make, especially with him, because he's done a fine job.
Just to follow up really quick, you mentioned it, but what do you think it says about a guy to go through what he's gone through and make it back to this level?
God, man, it means everything. You know, it's like when I blew out after my first Tommy. It's like, oh, well, we're doing the surgery so you can hold your grandkids. This isn't so you can pitch. I'm like, oh hell, you lost your minds? I'm still young, and to make it back. It's the one time that I shook on the mound, and I had a runner at second. I think the umpire knew the situation. He warned me twice, and I think he just let it ride because my back leg was, you know, twitching like crazy. And I never saw that out of him, but I got to see the emotion afterwards. It was awesome.
Jeff Arnold, go ahead.
Hey, bro. Thanks for doing it.
Hey, Jeff.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you're seeing out of Alex Cobb and kind of what you're hoping to see tonight and just some of your takeaways from him recently.
Well, you know, we've been kind of battling the blister shirt all year. And I think hopefully we're over that. You know, this guy knows how to pitch. He's a big league pitcher. He pitches off of his split, which makes his fastball better. You know, I think you're going to see an awesome pitcher's duel tonight. He's thrown two sides in between. It's really been good. He's been working on a few things so that he can get back away from the delivery that he picked up after his Tommy Johns. We're trying to get him more stable on his backside that he can have a better path to the plate. And I think that's just going to add deception. And hopefully I'm right. I hope we see a massive pitcher's duel tonight.
Next up, Steve Molesky.
Doug, how important is coordination with the coaches, with all the pitchers, majors and minors, to include Chris Holt, to include Justin and Kenny at Bowie? How important is that coordination and not only knowing what's being told to them, but what feedback they're giving you and so forth?
It's huge. You know, when Aiken Kramer came up and they both pitched, that was my first phone call. Called them right after the game and I said, hey, I know it's been a rugged situation this summer. You know, 2020 has been hell on a lot of people. But I wanted to let them know that the work that they've done has really, really helped because it shows at the big league level. You know, those guys aren't just out there playing catch every day and getting their arms. They're working, and they're building their pitches. They're throwing bullpens. It's not just like they're trying to go through the motions down there. These guys have really busted their hump, and having the communication from those guys to Holty to us is huge because when we see something and we send a guy down, this is what we want done. This is what we want to see. This is what we've been working on. We know it's getting done. And we know it's getting done because when they come back, the guy's prepared, the guy's ready, and the guy's ready to contribute at this level. It's been enormous for us.
We've got time for one follow-up from Melanie Newman. Melanie, go ahead.
I wanted to circle back on Valdez because so many of the young guys have such an affinity for him already. We've already heard the Chief and El Jefe. Does he have a little English that he uses with them? Is there kind of a guy who's the bridge for him, or is it just kind of this unspoken bond between them? I know Fry already said that what he does on the mound speaks for himself, even if he can't speak to the guys really well.
You know, it's funny because I haven't had to have a translator yet. I mean, this guy, he understands plenty of English. Maybe that's so he doesn't have to talk to the press, but I don't know what it is. But, you know, I think the guys look up to him because it's such an awesome story. And away from the story, this guy's gotten wins. He's gotten holds. He's gotten saves for us. And we're calling on him in 3 innings of work, 2 innings of work, 1 inning work, extra innings, close, setup, save. You know, it's awe-inspiring to see a guy like that come in and do what he does at the velos that he does it at, and realize that, hey, maybe I don't have to go out there and I throw 95, but maybe I don't need to try to throw 98. Maybe I can get the job done with my pitches to just my locations. And I think all in all, it's just awesome that this guy's here and we've given him a shot to get back to the big leagues. It's been great.